anyway, when you have a vintage that comes after two huge 09 and 10, you always have to deal with, you know, with anticipation of your customers that are almost used to have great vintages every year, and suddenly realize that back to 11, we are back to a more normal, I would say, vintage, with normal parameters, normal ripeness, concentration, something that we almost forgot, you know, after 09 and 10.
Too great,
yeah, many challenges at many different stages. Lack of water when we needed water at the beginning of the cycle, and the cycle was very, very early. A bit of water when we didn't need any more water. It's a bit uneven. We didn't have any hail in Pauillac, like some of our friends, for some other continuously warm. But it's a bit like the fruit, you know, was squeezed and then blew a bit thanks to the water, and then was concentrated in September, so the skins were quite fragile, even though it was a very interesting maturity. The dates, but there was 2 days where the sun was really burning.
It was 25 degrees.
Yeah, so but it was, you know, these were the moments, if you had not pulled any leaves at that time, and if you were careful in looking at that weather forecast and not spraying, for example, sulfur at that moment, which is, you know, in the bio program, then you could avoid that.
And closer to harvest, did you have rot issues?
Rot is something you can look ahead and harvest before, and you can. Rot should not be a problem. You can clearly eliminate in the vineyards, eliminate in the sorting tables. When I say eliminate, I mean you need to have a team over the years that is used to be extremely careful and deal with this problem. You know, it's not like one day you decide to eliminate rot. You know, if your team that comes every year has not been used to it very, very carefully, it doesn't happen. I mean, instead of having these weird big tunnels, you know, that decides of what should go out and what should stay. You know, I mean,
so the human touch.
This is absolutely not our philosophy.
The wine industry as well.
There's a need to keep talking to our friends in China. There's more and maybe to a healthier market, targeted more towards real wine lovers, you know, and not only I would say wine opportunists. So and we've seen that in other markets. There's a moment where there's a few pioneers, and then the market grows very quickly with a lot of I would say companies handling our wines, and then there's a natural phase 2 or phase 3 that restructure and the best stay. Right. And that's healthy for everybody, for us and for the final consumers. We need to trust who is buying from, and clearly in these days of where provenance is more of an issue. I mean, is that new? Definitely not. So we need to go on and not only have our wine taste, but try to educate a bit our friends, wine amateurs. And be careful where you buy your wines, and there's a few things that you need to look at.
So when you go to China now, besides the big coastal cities, where else do you go?
The center, Chengdu, Tianjin, which is not very far from Beijing, in the Hunan, back in region we used to go, like Shenzhen, and Beijing. These days, you know, it's a big market, so you need to spend. When we used to spend 5 days there, we would need to spend 10 days now.